The 2020 pronouncement by President Bio as a year of delivery is seen as an opportunity for a breakthrough to overcome the development setbacks of the country, according to Andrew Lavalley, Executive Director of Institute for Governance Reform. But this decree is however questionable owing to the lack of performance indicators for MDAs. And this is one of the factors that motivated the IGR report.
We have seen time and again that countries across Africa that announce delivery targets, say for example Rwanda, those countries are more results-oriented and deliver results to citizens than countries whose governments keep results to themselves. And when you keep results to yourself, delivery targets to yourself, it's normally for three reasons. Either the results cannot be achieved, or B, you don't just want to disclose what you want to deliver on, or C, you don't want to match resources to the results you want to deliver.
Despite the emphasis on a year of delivery, the performance targets to be expected are still not clear to the public. The question CSOs are asking is, without indicators, is it possible to track development? Dr. Francis Kaikai is the Minister of Planning and Economic Development.
There are people who think that the president has talked about delivery without the targets. I want to assure you that the president, because it was a one-day activity, we are not going to spend the time looking at the targets for each ministry. What we need to do now is to make sure that each ministry, tries to explain what those targets are for them. For example, the Ministry of Education. If you call them, they will tell you what their targets are for this year. It's in an annual budget. If you talk to the Ministry of Agriculture, it's the same. Even as a minister, I have my own ministerial performance document here, which I'm going to sign as a contract with the president. What we need to do now is to make sure that each ministry tries to explain what those targets are for them.
The 2030 Sustainable Development Goals recommend an open dialogue between government and other stakeholders with a view to hold authorities accountable for deliveries and create a better life for all citizens. Other civil society activists demand that performance contracts between the president and MDAs be made public for delivery promises to be tracked and measured.
In health, for example, we want to see a situation where each of the government hospitals in the districts are functional with X and Y facility. We want to see, in terms of energy and water resources, that each of the districts have a viable water source. So when you begin to articulate developments from that perspective, then we can be able to hold public officials accountable. Because let me tell you, if we fail to show results, we are not talking about good governance. If we fail to show results, we are not talking about development. So it becomes a cycle of poverty.
The 2020 budget of the government amounts to 9.3 trillion leones, nearly $1 billion. Apart from the performance indicators for how effective and efficient the spending of this budget will be, CSOs are also requesting the criteria for punishing and rewarding public servants across the delivery chain. Salivu Cherno Kamara, AYV News in Freetown.